Good day, everyone. So, thank you very much if you are always with us, if you have been with me on this channel, and you have always been consistent, watching the videos, liking it, sharing it. So, and also, I am saying a very big thank you for those who have subscribed. So, and I also want to beckoning on you that you should please subscribe so that you shouldn't just watch the content. So, and the advantages of subscribing to this YouTube channel is you would always have access to the content. You can easily see it every time I post a new video. So I really encourage you to subscribe. Please, thank you. So today what we'll be discussing on is HTML forms. HTML forms. So HTML forms is an HTML element that is used to to collect user data. So maybe you just want to receive data for a particular thing from a set of people or from somebody. So you can use HTML forms. So it's after creating it on your web page, you put it online and the person can fill it, add whatever information he wants to add and send it back to and submit it. Immediately submit it goes to whosoever needs it. So it is, you can use it to make a login form, a registration form, a search form, a contact form, and many other forms. So the form element defines an HTML form. Now let's look at HTML forms attributes. HTML forms attributes. We have the accept character set. It defines the character set of the form. We have the action. Now that first one, what it does is it defines the amount of character that the form can accept. Maybe something you are typing in now, it can be like maybe 500. That's what that does. Action specifies the form handler or page handler page, usually a .php page in the server side where the data is processed. So immediately you fill the data, what this does is it controls how the data will be sent to the receiver, however it's going to go. So that's what it does. Now we have autocomplete. It tells the browser to automatically complete form elements. So, and we have enctype. It defines the encoding of the data submitted by the form. So it defines the encoding, maybe capital letter or whatever you want it to be like. So it defines what type will be accepted in that form. So that's what it does. Method. It defines the HTTP method to use when submitting a form, e.g. get or post. It is explained further below. Let's leave that for now. So method will explain how you want to send it. So it's actually for those developing it. So, and that's what we are learning here. It's going to explain how you want it sent. So we have the name, ID, and class. These ones are used to identify the form for the purpose of styling and document objects manipulation. So it's used for styling. You can use all these details for styling. Now we have no validate. It tells the browser not to validate the form. So if I don't want the form to be validated, so I can use this no validate. So meaning that maybe before I submit, I can just put it there on my form so that as the user is typing on it, it won't validate it as accurate. So but immediately the person submits, I can put it back as validated. So it has validated it as correct. So now you can send. Now we have the onSubmit. It is used to call a JavaScript function, e.g. for form validation when the form is submitted. Okay, so maybe you want to call something it will do something else so that the person will see that the form has been submitted. So different things like that. Maybe to just display an image so the person will know yes, it has been submitted. So we have targets. What it does is it defines the target of the form, e.g. target equals underscore blank. So it defines the target, how the form will be opened or whatever of the form. The form handler will be opened in the new tab. To submit an HTML form, the user has to click the submit button. The user will be redirected to the form handler page specified by the action attribute where the input data is processed. A form handler is typically a hypertext processor PHP server page that runs scripts to process input data. Unfortunately, let's leave that for now. Okay, for now we'll be using the sample page handler.html. Okay, let's look at this brief example. Let's look at this. So now this is the code snippet. An HTML code snippet that explains forms. So it has the action, it has the method gets, action, sample page.html, page handler.html. So these are the inputs of the form. So all these details must be there if you are using a form element. So let's look at the output. We look at the output now. Here you can see the output. This is the output. Full name, age, favorite food, hobby, submit. We will not be filling that today. So now let's look at attribute method. The attribute method. Okay. The method attribute specifies which HTTP method to use when submitting input data to the form handler page. Could either be get or post. Now, get or post HTTP methods. Here is a simple table to show the difference between get and post methods. Okay, so get has a default value, it is less secure, data is written on the URL address, it is more prone to hacking, it is used when submitting personal data. So you can use get when you are submitting, maybe submitting data among few people, or you use post when you are doing it for an organization now. So it's not a personal thing. So that's when you use post. So but get is for maybe something indoor, something. So that's get. Now let's move into HTML forms elements. HTML form elements. Now, HTML form elements should be inside the form elements. You will learn various types of HTML form elements, including inputs, text boxes, buttons, checkboxes, drop-down lists, and more in the next lessons. So, in the next lessons we'll be taking, you will learn more of that. So, example. So a form element always has the opening tag, the normal opening tag, form, closing tag, form. So it is not a self-closing tag. So we have the input elements. Input elements are the input fields inside the form. There are different types of input fields, and you will learn each of them in the next lesson. So now, attribute name. Every form element except the submit button must have its own unique name. So attributes is unique name attribute unless the data will not be submitted to the form handler, because it is used as a reference to get the value of each element entered by the user. So every form element must have an attribute, so you can see it as unique. So each one must have their own attributes. That's it for today, guys, on HTML forms. So thank you very much for staying tuned. Don't forget to like today's video. Don't forget to like today's video, share it, and subscribe also. Thank you very much.